Joining in on the show is Chandu Reddy. He's the director at Sangeetha Mobiles. We've also got Nikunj Sanghi, who is the managing director, JS Fourwheels Motors. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking time out and joining in. To begin with, then, Mr. Reddy, just wanted to start off from you by understanding a little bit about the kind of demand trends, because there has been a bit of sluggishness, as what reports indicate. Did Gudi Padwa bring any sort of cheer?
Hi, thanks for having me. Gudi Padwa for us is relatively in Goa and parts of coastal Karnataka, where the Konkani or the Goan population is. But more so for us, it's Ugadi celebrations down south, which is primarily celebrated in Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and also a little bit in Telangana. So yes, it has been a continuing trend, not a slight growth maybe at the max, but we always wanted better every year. But I think it's been a steady trend the last few years as well. Ugadi saw the similar trend post-COVID at least. So it's been good. Sankranti, for example, was maybe slightly lower, but Ugadi is back in action. February was kind of back in action, and March also is looking good for us.
Right. Mr. Nikunj Sanghi, you tell us, where is it that demand is holding better? Is it tier 1, 2 or 3?
So I guess when it comes to passenger vehicles, the demand is holding good in 1 and 2. 3, I would say, is slightly sluggish, and primarily because 3 is the one which goes in for entry-level segment cars, and I think that's where the stress of the price hikes is being felt. But overall, I think Gudi Padwa will bring it growth, primarily because availability of vehicles is good and there is a sufficiently long waiting list. So I guess Gudi Padwa should definitely see growth.
Okay. Some of the concerns then, Mr. Sanghi, are that, the visits at car dealerships as well have come down by nearly 8 to 10%, and that the unsold car inventory with dealers have touched 4-year highs. What do you think will lead to a reversal in this trend, and do you believe that some of these concerns could continue for the next many months?
So I think, I think the best part is over. We have seen a big boom in the last 18 months, and somewhere the demand is stabilizing. And I also see that the booking hype, which was there till a few months back, and in the new launches which have just come in, I think somewhere the customer is realizing that if the booking period is more than 6 months, then there is no point of really booking a vehicle. So there has been a tone down of the sentiment. And I feel that this financial year, the coming financial year, will not be as booming as we have seen in the last financial year. So there will be a cool down. As far as unsold inventories are concerned, I think it is more, so it's a dichotomy. There are still very long waiting lists in some segments, while there are unsold inventories in segments which are not moving. And I think in order to maintain the pace of manufacturing, manufacturers are pushing some of the slow moving models because of the chip shortage, which continues to be a problem specifically at the high end of the vehicles.
Right. The other thing, Chandu, that I wanted to also figure out is from you, because, this time around the industry is fearing that El Nino impact could rather impact rural demand. Typically and historically, help us understand with your experience as to how El Nino is likely to impact rural demand.
Honestly, as far as I see, the things are slightly different from what Mr. Sanghi said in my industry. Good to know what's happening there. But for us, this year, 5G is going to make a big difference. Though 5G, for what exactly means, Naam ka 5G, Kaam ka 5G, they say different stuff, and how it actually impacts the end consumer is little to be seen or little to be known, at least by the customer right now. But still, there are a lot of customers coming in and exchanging to move to their 5G phones, because 5G is up, at least in the metro cities. Another big driver that we are seeing in the tier 3, tier 4, everywhere in fact, is the EMI. So one unique phenomena in the mobile industry itself, especially in India, is that all mobile phones come with a no-cost EMI, which is funded by the OEMs. So there is absolutely no interest and no down payment which the consumer pays. This has been there for quite a long time. But what's new now is that they've all these finance NBFC partners and buy now pay later partners. There are very much new partners in the market with innovative ways of tackling new to banking customers. So they have been welcoming a lot more new to banking customers. Bajaj Finance, for example, new to banking customers used to be approval rate used to be somewhere around 65 to 67%. But lately, with a couple of new technologies that they've brought in, it has gone up to 95% approval rate. This is one of the biggest drivers. Nearly 50% of our transactions happen on some form of EMI. Either it's a card or a cardless EMI or an NBFC EMI. So this is one of the biggest drivers. The third biggest driver that we see, a trend that we are going to see in this year, is foldable phones. There are now two brands with foldable phones, and the form factor is changing. Every year, we only see incremental innovations with features in the phones, specs in the phones. But this year, we are actually seeing some engineering innovations, leapfrog innovations, like the physical form factor changing. I know I didn't answer exactly to your question, but we have been seeing a totally different trend here. That's why.
Sure, I got that. What I also wanted to understand was whether, because of the upcoming monsoon concerns and the interest rate trajectory, whether or not you're seeing any impact on your business as yet. But great to have you both, Mr. Sanghi, on the show, and Chandu, you as well. Glad that you guys could take time out.